Hello and welcome to my Sunday Frump. Today I have puro carb. If you're triggered by puro carb, this ain't your show, honey. If you're triggered by all carb on the plate, if carbs overload is to you a bullshit platter, this ain't the show for you. Because today I made a arroz and atole from arroz, and I made ramen stir fry. This is ancient grain bread, which has quinoa in it, etc., etc. And to drink, I have a Powerade Blue, 0 calories, 0 sugar. I'm gonna get some. Woo! So this week was eventful, and let's see. Oh, I found out my ex might not be free man for very long because the court case is on file with the DA, and we all know what happens there. When you get a file or case that's looked over by the DA, they in turn, because they love their patrons so much, they love protecting and serving, and they thoroughly investigate. So having being mentioned in a case that has been heard by a DA, immediately no. They automatically, start processing, not just in their head, but applying law into enforcing. And also, if they happen to have a file dropped on their desk, they investigate themselves. They themselves investigate. So there's that. Tadaki was. Tadaki was, bitches. And that's why this ramen tastes so much better. I want my tuna milk. Yep. That's what Blueface said. No cap, no shade. Here's my atole. And I love eating atole with like bread. And the bread that you don't need to heat up, warm up, or butter up. I love that. I love me some, make you a batch of biscuits and save some for the morning. Save some for the late night snacking. Save some for after schooling. But like sliced bread, it paces me throughout the week. So I can see portion. Because like I said, I rarely do this. But when I do, I guess I overdo it. I guess I need a doctor to watch me because why do I keep doing this? I love this. This is so good. I think I want seconds. Actually, I have seconds in the fridge for both of these things. Mm. So did I tell you guys that I donated because like I was watching videos in TikTok and I was like, I'm gonna donate because like um they're having a hard time and Hawaii and Indiana are gonna have a hard time for a little while. So, and I felt really bad. So I was thinking about journaling too because like I think I need to get some of this stuff off my chest and just write, free write. Like when you hold things in, it gets like it becomes like a stress on your body. And you don't notice, but you start clenching like your teeth, your hands, your feet, probably your knees. Because how do we have so many knee problems? I'm just saying. But yeah, like Nevaeh had her baby, like, and she's not stopping being ghetto, and Blueface is not stopping being ghetto, and apparently they're scared of CPS. And Brian Santos are scared of CPS. And somehow they're involved already. I mean, we saw the Nevaeh thing, like, everybody saw it live, but her and Brie had Medicaid, like, in hospitals. And it's like super weird for me. Like, why would you go to budget if you're still fancy and rich? You're still fancy and rich and you can tune them out. Like, but you can't even get your medical. Like, weird. But I didn't like the treatment. Like, they gave the baby, treatment because he was dark. Like, I don't know who's dark complected, but they were saying that he didn't look like the parents because he was dark. I was like, oh, so now he's less Hollywood because you're racially profiling him already. So, anyways, and then they're like starting the same shit. Brie and Santos are already on each other, on top of each other. She threw water on his live stream. I mean, pulling the knife on just saying, like now, and the threats become real, and everybody's watching all those threats that get thrown around his baby's mama to each other. But now they're becoming real through the video. So that's funny because you know what I mean? I thought we lived in the same, you know, place as everybody else. And why are they getting treated special? Sometimes I wish people would just come and clock them already because, like, why does the kids have to suffer? With all this weather changing, it's just like making me think about things differently. And like the craziest thing is all those earthquakes, like those earthquakes, and like I just like remember back in the day when earthquakes would strike and they were like boom, and it was like it impacted everybody's life around the world. And I worry, people really give a crap more about the bad guy's life than they care about humanity. That's what I felt after Venezuela got an earthquake. That's what I felt, whenever I see torments that tear up, areas of land and their populated land, the residential land, but people act like they don't see it. You know, it's like I see more motion in the open culture than I do, where I work, and it just kind of scares me. Not to say that I can't do that. Like I most certainly have a spotlight there. So you know what I mean? And the way people pit me, the way they highlight me, and the way they shine a harsh light on me, it's only a matter of time till we're leveled up on this channel. Then what you gonna do? Where you gonna hide? Who's gonna talk for you? Because we're gonna be standing right next to each other in the same boat. I just wanna know. I live in the same planet. It's kind of weird how people, you know, first of all, how people dismiss me because I'm conservative, because I have standards, because I talk smart. Not me talking smart for a black person. Crazy work. And, but you know what I mean? Like, I went on TikTok today, and it's just like people know what to expect now. And I say what I need to say. If you watched it, hey. But, I wouldn't hold back if they pay me to. But my thing is, like, we're here right now. And I got kids to feed. I think my content that I usually cover, I mean, it just helps so many people that I can't act like, you know, I'm not genuinely, beside myself every time somebody, got my name in their mouth, the right ways. And I feel so grateful to have that opportunity because of my gifts and talents, and because my brain power and my work ethic. You know, I have, an activist, you know, effort, to push harder also in social media and gaining a spotlight in mainstream pop culture. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe already. But that's my next goal. And my primary goal is just to try to roll out an album for y'all because people been asking, and that's just one of the things that I do. And I feel very, very grateful that I have the opportunities that I have. And I have so many options, but it's a matter of um, putting everything into play. You just got to put it into motion. And, once you come out with something, then the work is finished. And you can decide from there what you want to do. And I actually haven't even thought of that because I don't really I don't really believe that I'm gonna have an album. I really think that I'm just getting jerked around, especially with all the name changes and all the gossip and rumors that my friends' names are, surrounded by, um, and all the hate. I didn't expect to get backlash before I even had an album. I mean, I was denied a Grammy because I'm a B dub. And now that I have one, it's like, where's my album? I've been working my whole life in music, and where's my shining award for doing that thing, you know? And this time, what if I snub Beyonce instead of the other way around? And that's just, my primary focus right now is to be on point. And I'm getting there. I'm working on my lungs, even. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me a break. Like, this can't be my real life. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, but when it's down, honey, it drags me. It drags me down to my bones. And sometimes I feel like I can't do it. You know, I I'm just me. I'm just me trying to work here, doing the budget stuff, trying to I don't know, trying to grow, even though I know if I don't stick to the contract, you know what I mean? Like, it feels kind of like it becomes a prison. So, I don't know, it's not abusive language that I'm using, it's just common sense because I'm a girl. What do you want me to do? I want to go shopping. I want that bag too. I want the Go-Yard. Why is everybody getting a Go-Yard when I have the Grammy? Think about it. Why are they able to shit on me when I'm the one who won a Grammy and didn't get it until, you know, black women were put back on that map, back on that platform where we belong. Number one. Mm, and I have such great amount of things to say. Looking back from where I'm standing, not to say that where I'm standing isn't a good place, because like I mentioned before, I feel humbled to be here. But, you know, the reality is that Kylie became a 3-time millionaire overnight. Is that Kim K is eating pate out of, you know, out of a gold plate right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do they get to play, the Monopoly man, and I'm sitting here getting rizzed on? That's my thing. Like, I love you guys. I think y'all are wonderful and musically genius. But the feeling's not, it's not giving. Yeah. But like I said, I have so many options. If this doesn't work out, I can go back to what I was doing before, or I can try something new that I've learned now from years of waiting for an album to come out. Let me close my mouth. And um also um yeah, like I can't work in here because it's too little. And that's my first thing. I got to get out of here so I can give you more. If you want more, if you want to work with me, if you want to work with me because you want more, is what I'm saying. Because I'm not going to keep going like that, right? If you want to work with me because you want more, then put your money where your mouth is what I'm saying. Um, I'm not being mean. I'm just like saying like the realities of today are quite contrasting to what they were before. Not to say my paycheck doesn't reflect the yesteryear's expectations of women like myself, Latinas, or what have you, women of color. But it doesn't feel good when somebody's just like gooning you. It feels bad. And there's so many things that I like to say, about the industry and also the new industry on social media. Because like I said, there was very little expectations, you know, like, Oprah. You remember that? They were like, okay, who do we hire next? And they were like, oh, let's go, how do you call it? DI hire. That's what they called her, you know? But I mean, you find somebody that goes to school for journalism and broadcasting, you know what I mean? Would you hire one of them? No, you wouldn't. And then it has to be blindly picked, right? Just based on merit alone. But based on merit alone, I can project into the future and do business, like I said, by myself. And that's not fun. I've been kicked around and told, you do it from the ground up my whole life. It sounds crazy because I'm a producer. I mean, I produce movies. I wrote and produced and directed and edited by myself blockbuster movies. So, I can do that with music too. And it feels bad, even on social media when people are like, well, she's just her. It's like, who did you want me to be? You want me to be dugging it out. If I was a boy, or if I was a girl, you want me to be selling cooch. Don't lie, because that's where the views are. And the views get the bag. The views get brand sponsors and branded first. All of them have before me. And I'm the genius behind all of this digital red pill. But you chose them. Can you remove your likes? Can you remove your following and subscriptions? Yes, you could. You know? Yes, you could. But it doesn't take back all those mansions they bought from you backing them by clicking play on their shit. Their clicks gave them 1 cent. My clicks gave me 0 cent. Why? Because they were platform first for having that many. You know, the good guys got thrown under the bus. And now people are telling me, your life is going to change soon. Your life is going to change. You're going to see such a great improvement. And you're going to see, you're going to be up there with the stars. You know how many years I've been here and people have been saying, and the next bitch comes up and she's pushing around a gold stroller from a rapper boyfriend. I married my rapper boyfriend. That's why I said I'll go back to the studio and do it my fucking self. Excuse my language. Because as his widow, I inherited the studio and everything that came with it. And like I said, I have so many friends that are into music. And also, I could do it myself, just from scratch. But I don't want a bad taste in my mouth once I sell it. You know what I mean? I think it's bad. I think the interest goes down the gutter. It goes down the toilet. It's down the drain. That's what I think. It has to be genuine. My genuine burning desire to produce this wonderful music sound for y'all's ears. And without, like I said, without all this support and backing, that y'all say is bogus, that y'all give the other people, but yet, I can read lists, millions and millions of people that follow degeneracies all throughout the internet, and mine get 0 views. And I'm not crying because if you don't want to be here, I want you to leave out of my space, obviously, but I want you not here first, and that would be my decision. And I think having that option as a mainstream person, you don't get that, and that's the beauty of it all. It's like it's like a it's like a game. You ever see that, that Korean game, and it's like a giant doll, and the doll kind of looks like me, and she like sings the song, and then you crawl up there, and then you gotta stop because she doesn't know that you're behind her acting funky, and she turns to see how sketchy I'll be, and then the minute she sees something move, it's over. But like, you know it doesn't have to be like that. If you get famous, nobody's gonna come and mess with you. It's like a blind. You have privacy to enjoy your life the way you want, and you don't have to worry about nothing from the fandom. And that's what's so important for me, because I've had so many stalkers. I've had my crazy exes popping up. I've had, people trying to sabotage my business because they can access me. And it's like, the smaller you are, it's like, you've been here for so long. It's like, I'm helping her because every time I kick her when she's down, the dust kind of settles and gets out of you know, the space that is the internet. And I feel like it's like, I don't know, it's just like a long, to me, being here still, it's like a long, never ending goodbye. In my, how do you call it, in my experience, being a public figure. It's like a long winded goodbye. It's like a never ending, see you later, alligator. And to me, that's the saddest part of being here. It's like, I don't care if you want me here or not, like, but also I am helpful, and also the people that do back and support me are down bad. And it's like mutual. But the other people, it's like, why are you hyping me up for? You never in my spaces. You don't share, you don't push play. Most importantly, you don't support my videos or my career making them. And it's like, I don't know. It just feels like, why are you raising me up? I'm not gonna date you. At the same point in time, I hope I do get motion, and I hope this work all is worth it. And I pray that it makes me a bag eventually. But like I said, I didn't do this for nothing. But it does feel like, how do you say? What it feels like right now, like, and it has been, obviously. Yeah, I've been here. It feels like somebody's doesn't want to say that they're waiting for me to leave, because then it would be considered rude to tell, how do you call it? Tell the bum that their presence isn't needed in such a beautiful space. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're just a nuance. That you showed up, invited or not, you showed up kind of more humble, kind of more cringe, kind of more kind of more dusty than everybody else. And I feel like that's weird. You know what I mean? You already racial profiled me, and you're not even a cop. But at the same point in time, we gotta continue doing what we do and being ourselves, regardless of what people say. And I think that's the core of why I do things. At the end of the day, I am a financial person. That's why I always talk about this stuff, because money talk and bitches walk. If you can't handle it, then leave. You know what I mean? And I always said, so long as I'm happy, I'm going to continue doing it. So long as I'm satiated and content where I'm at, I'm going to continue doing it. But I do notice, that other people are getting motion, and it's weird because it seems like they're getting motion, and then, once I notice, then they get scared away. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I think that people expect, me to be begging for my position when I've worked to be here. And I feel like because, race is an issue all the time, that the unspoken thing was that I was never wanted in the first place. On God. So it's like, I don't want to stay somewhere where I'm not needed. I feel like I'm such a good channel. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I could be the greatest channel on earth if I had a little bit more, you know, to give. But dealing with this record company isn't easy. Dealing with a record company that has a bad rapport with my beloved deceased friends, it tears me up into pieces of shredded paper inside, especially through the Tupac trial. So I just need a place to invent. So thank you for that. But anyways, what I was saying was, if that's the case, after our contract is up, you know what I mean? I can check out where I'm at and maybe I'll leave. I don't know. But I don't like being reminded of the East Coast, West Coast, whatever the fuck people made up on us. Like, I've heard all kinds of terms being called on me, including the hard ER, but to be called East Coast, West Coast, I'm a human being. And I was married to East Coast, West Coast. No, I was married to a human being. And my friend was not East Coast, West Coast and didn't die in an East Coast and West Coast incident. He died a human being. Like, put some respect on our names. And just because all of you little puny, wimpy simps out there think that, female simps included, think that I don't hit on anything, well, if you think you're intimidated now, you should meet me in the outside where I really do my thing. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. My Sunday front. Bye-bye.